Molly, you want to start?
How do I start? Welcome to Movie Night, the podcast where we talk about everything entertainment and celebrities. We're your hosts. I'm Molly Wolf.
I'm Eliana Rosen.
And today we'll be talking about Red Taylor's Version, the new album by Taylor Swift. This album is a re-recording of her 2012 album, Red.
So, when Taylor Swift first signed onto a label, she was a minor. And obviously that gave them a lot of rights to the recording of her music. And after that, once she was eligible to buy them, they actually were sold without her permission. And since so many years have passed now, she's having the opportunity to re-record, and now she can own these new re-recordings and have the rights to the recording of her music.
Yeah, so basically Taylor Swift wanted to own everything that she's put so much work into, so she's re-recording her first 6 albums. This Red Taylor's Version is her second re-recording. She's putting Taylor's version at the end of it to show that she owns it. And she already re-recorded Fearless, Taylor's Version, her second album. And there are 4 more to go.
So Molly and I thought it would be really fun for us to react and review the Wire staff's official ranking of the top 10 of this album. And so we thought it would be really fun to share our opinions, what we agree with, what we don't, and we'll just get right into it.
Yeah, so this album has been very successful, so I think this will be very interesting to see, like, their top songs compared to ours. Like, for example, this album is Taylor Swift's 10th number 1 on the Billboard 200, so it's been very successful, so it'll be good to see the different opinions that everyone has, because I know I have very different opinions with the Wire staff.
Yeah. All right, so first song is, on their ranking, is All Too Well 10-minute version. So Taylor Swift had a 5-minute version that went onto her original album, but now she has a 10-minute version that has more lyrics that she wrote at the time, but she didn't add to the version that she originally published. And so this 10-minute version, I think it's not surprising at all that this is the first song on the top 10. I would be really confused if it wasn't.
I agree. I think almost anyone who's listened to this album, everyone I've talked to who's listened to this album, has specifically said that this is their favorite song on the album. I think it's really, like, emotional and personal, and so I think this deserved to be at number 1. So I agree with this ranking very much.
Yeah.
And also I think it's important to note that Taylor Swift actually made a short film, which is about 15 minutes long, starring Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien and Taylor Swift, to this song that, like, shows a little bit of the story. And so I think that seeing it, like, on the screen really even added to the song, and it, like, made you picture what's going on even better. So I think that even made it shoot up in the album rankings as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it gave the song even more, like, emotional attachment and even more just, like passion to it.
Yeah, this song feels very passionate. You can definitely tell Taylor Swift's story. There are rumors that this song is about her rumored relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. So I think everyone really sees this and imagines how the relationship was like in 2012. So this song just really shows, like, how passionate she was about this relationship and how it ended. And next on the ranking by the Wire staff is I Almost Do. And this song is, it was originally on the album. It's not a vault track or a newly added track. And I think I agree with this ranking greatly. Eliana, what do you think?
See, for me, I love this song, and I think there's not really many of songs on this list that I don't love. And so I think if I could put them all at numbers like 1 and 2, I would. But for me, this was number 16 out of the 29 songs that we're ranking. It's great, but I think that there's a lot of songs for me that just are above that.
So I put this song at number 7 in my ranking. I think this is an amazing song. I think it's underrated, to be honest, and I love this song. I love how emotional it is, how powerful it is. I love all the harmonies. I just think overall it, like, is a really good song. So I put it at number 7. I personally wouldn't put it at number 2. I think there are a lot of songs on this album that are better. Like you said, like if I could put everything on this album I wanted to, I would. There are very few songs on this album I would skip. But this song did make it in the top 10 for me. I still think it's an amazing song.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made my top 20, and I definitely think, like, my ranking seems to change all the time, so
Yeah, mine
we'll
as
see,
well.
like, the next time I listen to this song, if it goes up or whatever, but for me, a little bit lower than what they put it.
Yeah.
Next is State of Grace. For me, this was pretty low. I do like the song, but I think that it's not, like, I don't have as much connection to it in terms of, like, feeling like an emotional attachment to it as I do to other songs. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. This is a great way to open the album, I think. I think it's really fun, really upbeat. But personally, I don't think I like emotionally feel as strong feelings in listening to this song as I do for many other songs. The other songs make me feel so passionate about like the story. In this song, it's kind of just a fun song to listen to, and I think it's really good, and I put it at number 12. But so this song is still amazing, but I don't think it is number 3 for me because it's not as emotional as many of the others on this album. And next we have Nothing New featuring Phoebe Bridgers, and I really like this song. This is my second favorite song on the whole album. This is a vault track, which means it wasn't on the original album. She added this for the Taylor's version album. Taylor Swift wrote Nothing New and a few other vault tracks in 2012 when she wrote the rest of the album, but she didn't release it then. It never made it onto the album, so it did now, and I really like this song. I like how emotional it feels. I think a lot of people can probably relate to it. There are a lot of lines that are very relatable in this album, and I love this song. It's like my favorite song, one of my favorite songs of all time, to be honest. I love this song.
I really like it. I don't listen to too much Phoebe Bridgers, but what I do know about her, I think that it really combined both of the ways that they sing and just their personalities as like celebrities and songwriters, and it really meshed them together. I think there definitely is something to be said about the fact that I'm not 18 or 22, and those are like the biggest ages that they mention in the song, but I still have like this connection to it, and it feels like so passionate to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think their voices mesh together really well, and I really like that part of this song, and I think it just really showed both of the artists individually and together, so I love this song.
Another one that I really love, this is actually number 3 on my list, so even higher than the staff put it, is Better Man. And I really love this song. I think like the refrain of it is basically, think of what could have happened and how amazing our relationship had been if only you had been a better person. And I think that's so like aggressive and kind of like, it seems like it'd be like a rude thing to say, right? Like we could have been so great if you were just a better person. But I think that the point of the song is that she's realized that she can do better than someone who's not going to treat her the way that she wants to, and that, you know, she deserves more. And I think that that's just so powerful.
Yeah, somehow this song is so emotional, so vulnerable, but it's still very passive aggressive. And the Wire staff put the song as number 5, but I put Better Man as number 11. This is one of those songs that if I could put into my top 5, I would. But there's a few songs that I think are better than this on the album, even though I love this song. Better Man was not originally on the album. It was originally recorded by Little Big Town, even though Taylor Swift wrote it. She sold the song to them so they could record it, and now Taylor Swift is recording it. So this is people's first time hearing Taylor Swift sing the song, but we've already heard the song before. But I love this song. I think it's very emotional, very passionate, and I love this song. Next is The Last Time, feat. Gary Lightbody of Snow Patrol. I really like this song. I put this song as number 3 on my ranking, while the Wire staff put it as number 6. I think this is one of the best songs on the album. It's very emotional. Gary Lightbody and Taylor Swift's voice sound really well together. I think all of her features did amazing on this album. I think this song was in the original Red in 2012, and Gary Lightbody's voice seemed to stay very close to the same, while Taylor Swift's voice changed a little bit. It might have gotten lower. but I still think their voices complement each other really well, so I don't have a complaint with this song.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how much her voice has really changed, where it seems like his hasn't as much, and neither one is a good or bad thing, but it's just interesting to see how Taylor Swift's voice has evolved and how that's something that's unique to her. That's not something that happens with all like artists. But I do like this song. I put it a little bit lower on my ranking only because there's some that come before it, but I really do like it. I like the kind of slower nature of it. And I really do enjoy it. The next one is Sad, Beautiful, Tragic.
This bothers me, to be honest, that Sad, Beautiful, Tragic is at number 7. I really don't like this song.
I think it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not number 7 for me at all. I think it's almost too slow.
I think this song is way too slow, way too boring. I like slow songs. I like sad songs. I also like upbeat. But it being slow and sad isn't what put it this low. It's just boring to me. There's not that much to it. The lyrics are good, but they're not great. Nothing in this song is amazing. Nothing in this song is 5 stars. So I had to put this song at 28, which is my second to last song on this album. I really don't like this song, to be honest. I strongly disagree with putting this song at number 7. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the lyrics are like a little bit repetitive. And so that's something that kind of turns me away from it just a little bit. It's not as low. I have it as 22, which is a little bit higher than you have it, but way lower than the staff put it. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Next is The Moment I Knew. I love this song. This song is a song that was originally on the album. I believe this was a bonus track. This song I really like. I put this song very high on my ranking. I put this at number 5, while the Wire staff put it at number 8. So I agree with this ranking. It's very emotional, very personal. It almost gives very similar like vibes, and it's very similar to All Too Well 10-minute version. They're just both very similar songs, and I love them both. What do you think?
I agree. I have it a little bit lower. I have it around 15. So
15.
Not as high, but I think that's something interesting about Taylor's music is that everyone feels it so differently that everyone's ranking can be completely different. I think that's something that's just so important, to think about.
And speaking of rankings that are completely different.
So the staff had 22, Taylor's version, on as number 9. And when I saw this, I was shocked.
So was I. I personally put this song as number 22, no pun intended, on my ranking. I think it's fun, but that's all there is to it. I don't think the lyrics are anything special. I don't think anything in this song is anything special. It's just fun. And so it's not a song I would automatically skip, but it's not something that's like, oh my god, I need to listen to 22 Taylor's version like it's the best song ever. Because it's not. It's just a regular song you would hear on the radio for me.
Exactly. I would never scroll through the album on Spotify and click 22 to be the first one I listen to. If it comes up on shuffle, great. But it's definitely not one that I would choose. And I think that's why it's so low, just because, I don't know, it doesn't seem up to par with the rest of her songs.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think it really competes with most of the songs, to be honest. And next, closing out the staff's top 10 was The Very First Night from The Vault. This song wasn't in the album originally. I really like this song. I think it's really good. I put it as 15, so didn't quite make my top 10, but it was close. But this song, to be honest, it's very fun, very upbeat, but to be honest, I feel like it kind of sounds like it's in a Disney movie or like a Barbie movie. This song, it's very youthful, which could be good, but other times it's just too young. It's too much like, I hear it and I immediately think, oh, like, have I heard this in a Disney movie before or a Barbie movie? So it's a great song. I think the chorus kind of ruins it for me. The verses were a little bit better for me, just lyrics-wise. The lyrics in the song aren't the best. Which I think is what makes me feel like it wouldn't be in a Barbie movie. But I love how fun this song is, so I still had to put it pretty high in my rankings at number 15.
Yeah, so I actually have it at the exact same point. I have it as number 10. And I understand what you're saying, and I think that I can like see that a little bit, but I also really think that it's just such a fun song. And it's like youthful and like fun in a different way than 22 is, whereas 22 feels like almost like fun but like almost almost boring.
22 just seems like it's very much made for the radio. Well, this song just sounds like it's youthful in a fun way for listeners in general.
Right. It seems like you just want to like get up and like dance, you know?
Yeah. So I loved this whole album, to be honest. Every song on this album was like a 10 out of 10 for me.
Agreed. I could listen to this album all day, every day.
There are some songs on this album that I think deserve to be in the top 10. A few songs on my top 10 that weren't here were The Lucky One and I Bet You Think About Me, but I still think they were amazing.
Yeah, I have The Lucky One as in my top 10. I have Run featuring Ed Sheeran as well. So it's a shame that we don't have the time to talk about all of those, but you know, we wanted to give them the credit that they deserve.
Yeah, so thanks so much for listening.
Be sure to check out wessexwire.com for the latest stories. Follow us on Instagram at the Wessex Wire, and keep an eye out for the print issue coming later this month. Thanks for listening. But not too silly, like not too stupid, because last time it didn't work.
We are never ever gonna stop talking about this album. Like that was awful.
No, that did not work.
It was awful.